Alto flavor means what kind of devices, what kind of architecture they have, and what are their use, and in which cases it is being used. Okay, so basically 3 to 4 type of flavor they have. Mostly start with the next generation firewall. You can compare with all other firewalls which you are already using in other vendors, next generation firewalls. Okay, so in next generation firewall, different kind of models are there. So when I say next generation firewall, you need to understand a PA firewall, Palo Alto firewall. When I say PA firewall, okay, Palo Alto firewall. So in Palo Alto firewall also, they have a lower models and going till to the ISP level model, okay, top model. So when start with the lower model, it start with the 220 also. Okay, 410 it's mentioned in my slides, but 220 is also there. Very small firewalls for like a branch office or kind of thing. Okay, what you need to understand, these are the physical firewalls. So Palo Alto have a physical firewalls having a different series. So when I say series, so it start from 400 series, 800 series, 3400 series, 5400, 5450. It's a model number actually, and 7K. So inside that series, also different model numbers are there. Okay, different model like 410, 420, these kind of model numbers are also there. Now depends on your requirement, what and where to use. They have the data sheet. But without seeing the data sheet also, I have segregated when you have a small branch office or remote locations. Okay. You can just use 400 series. Okay. Or 800 also if a bigger branch office is there. When I say network perimeter firewall, if you are using for the internet and the perimeter place of your company, then you have to use 3400 and 5400. That depends on your data sheet also. Okay, when you have a bigger company, like multiple locations are sending the data to the main firewall, like a data center firewall. Okay, if you have a company and multiple data centers are also there, so you can start with the 5400 series. When you have a bigger ISP level models, okay, bigger firewall, large traffic, you can go for the 7Ks. But all these are the physical firewalls. So let's open this one. Link is already given. Okay, no worries into that. I'm going the official website of this Palo Alto. Okay, Palo Alto MI powered, machine learning powered next generation firewall. They have added latest this machine learning. I'll tell you. So when I say starting from 400 series, okay. So overall, you have to just compare what is the core CPU. So you can see one CPU with 4 core, one CPU with one 4 core, and then these are the different model numbers 40, 40, 50, 40, 55, 40, 60. As soon as you go in top of the row, your storage and CPU will increase. That is the main understanding you have to just develop. Okay. Data plane and control plane we are going to cover, no worries into that. What you have to understand, when you are going up, your CPU will increase. What will happen if CPU will increase? So let me go back. So we saw 400, right? Let's see 5400 series. So you can see 5 core CPU, sorry, 24 core and 5 CPU. Okay. And different data plane and control plane. So what you need to develop your understanding, as soon as you go on the top of the model, okay, the CPU and the core will increase. What will happen if CPU and the core will increase? It will give you better performance. If your traffic is high, it will able to handle your traffic. Okay, so if you go for the 700 model, which is a chassis model, chassis is like you have to just plug out that chassis and plug in whatever you want it. So they have um, 20 core CPU, 20 core CPU, different chassis number. Okay, SFPs and different kind of chassis model. Mostly what I have seen, till 5400 series we all use, and it is very good, able to handle all kind of traffic. Now you can ask, okay, what kind of traffic tech they can handle. Okay, so there is a data sheet. Okay, so for example 5400 data sheet. Okay, it is asking to download. Let's download it. Now depends on your company throughput, how much bandwidth you are using inside your organization. You have to just compare it with this data sheet. Okay, so for example, firewall throughput 75 Gbps. Okay, threat prevention IPsec throughput 17 Gbps, maximum concurrent session 20 million concurrent session. Okay, new session per second. This is a data sheet. It will help you what kind of requirement you have, and you can match it with the data sheet like L3, L2, tap, virtual wire, transport mode, routing, what kind of routing it will help, SD-WAN, IPv6, SSL, everything is there. What you need in your requirement, you have to just match it over here. Okay, everything like maximum bit per unit, current concession, EMI certification, everything is there. Okay, now this is what we generally do at the higher level, but it is not always the same. Technically I am saying, okay, match with this data sheet and all. Text is not clear once you use core means. Yes, what I am saying, technically I am saying it should match. Yes, it should match. When you go for device selection, you have to go through the Palo Alto support team. They will do the device selection for you. But how a procurement happen in your company basically depends on your budget. Okay, budget and your architecture. Why I'm saying the budget? Because Palo Alto is the costliest firewall. What we try to have a in minimum budget. If you have a big budget, no issue. You can take any big firewall for the small requirement as well. But mostly depends on the budget. That is the first criteria. Depends on your choose. Means if you are having a hybrid infrastructure, means in perimeter, if you are using a Palo Alto, that's good. In below that, you can use the Cisco as well. Depends on your management and your workforce. Workforce means when you have a good understanding of Palo Alto engineers, okay, you can mostly use the Palo Alto. Okay, one second, I'm getting some questions.
Yeah, Run sir, this is Kiran. So when you say that when we select the device based on our requirements, so
Hmm.
should we focus on like model? I understand that the throughput varies for model to model. So, but that pan OS that delivers the options. So we need to which one we need to give the priority, whether to the model or the pan OS.
Okay, let me explain in very simple word. You guys, most of you guys using iPhone, right?
Yes.
Yes. iPhone having a different model numbers. They have 6E, 14, 13, 11. Have you ever seen a iOS version of iPhone is different from 6E to the 17 Pro Max? Is it same or a different iOS you get in iPhone?
Mm. Yeah, it will be the same.
It's the same. Palo Alto is having the same methodology, whether you are having a very small model number or a very big 7K also, the pan OS will same everywhere. Now, depends on your model capacity. When you go up to the model, you will get more core, more CPU, more RAM. It will able to handle smoothly the larger traffic. Depends on your exact traffic. So compare it with your small iPhone 11 and compare with the iPhone 17. In both case, the iOS is same, but 17 is more advanced because they have a more RAM, they have more CPU at the advanced. What is advanced here? The hardware part is advanced compared to the older model. So you have to understand, you have to find your throughput first with help of some CBC tool or QRadar or whatever tools you can use internal. What is the maximum throughput you are generating? Okay, and based on that, you select your model number. Is that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, it's just an overview. Okay. Now come to the VM firewall. Now you can ask a question. Okay. Why to go always physical firewall? I don't have much rack space in my server room or data center room. I'm a very small company, or even having a big company, I don't want to manage a physical box because sometime I have to relocate. And when you relocate, you change your offices. Okay, it is very difficult to go from STP to SCZ or whatnot. There are another option. We use VMwares, right? EXI VMwares and all. So what Palo Alto give, we have a VM series firewall as well. You don't have to buy a physical box. Okay, you have don't have to buy a physical box. How the architecture would be there. So let me use my pen, and you must be using also. Okay, so okay. So in your rack, okay, multiple racks are there. In your rack, there will be one server, whether it is a Dell server or whatever. Inside that server, you will have a EXEI or EXE host or a VMware in short. VMware. Inside that VMware, you have to allocate some spaces, a virtual machine. Okay, we have to create a virtual machine or a VM. That VM will host your PAN OS. That host will that that VMware will host PAN OS, and it will act as a firewall. This is called a VM series firewall. So what is the difference? PAN OS will be same like a physical and all, but the type of PAN OS will be considered as a VM series. VM series PAN OS. So same PAN OS will go into your physical PA firewall, and the same PAN OS will go into your VMware as well. This kind of infrastructure is very flexible. Okay, you can increase and decrease the hardware capacity. So for example, when you create a VM, okay, virtual machine, you have to allow, or you have to allocate how many CPU do you need, how many RAM do you need, how many memory do you need. Okay, you allow that. So this will use your VM memory and space. So this way you can use a VM series firewall. Right now I am also using so many places VM series firewalls. Even there, this NW King have VM series firewall. They don't have physical firewalls. Okay, no need to buy a physical firewall always. Always.
So is it possible like how we create VMs in our laptops? So is it possible to like allocate those software like PAOS software in the laptop and use a I mean, a Palo Alto firewall in that?
Yes. So what you have to do in this case, first you have to download a, maybe for example EXI, for example EX uh, VM vSphere, or is there a vSphere is there? Okay. So for example, you can download this vSphere, one of the example of virtualization, and there are so many. For example, you have to just download this vSphere, and inside that vSphere, you have to create one VM, and inside that VM, you have to install as an image of a Palo Alto firewall. That is possible. We generally do it. Okay. Now, before going to the VM, I have to complete this physical first. Let me. Now you can ask a question: why to use a physical firewall? Okay, and why to use a where to use a physical firewall? Okay, the, because The cost is depends on your subscription and the licensing. They will charge same. Okay. But where to use? When you want high performance, instead of having same configuration, okay, the performance will be high in the physical box. You have to be clear. Okay. The performance will be high because you are having a dedicated box for one thing, like as a firewall. And server, you are creating a VM firewall inside that server will have not the same performance kind of compared to the same physical box. Okay, when you have a high performance requirement, go for the physical firewall. Always available for the security because there are some more features available, because your availability will depends on your server. In case of VM is down, in case someone is doing something else, if you have a, for example, 1 GB or for example 10 GB of your VM and or 10 GB of your server space, and you're creating 2 GB here and more 2 GB, 5 GB. So it will create performance impact here because space will be constrained. Okay. When you have a data center kind of thing, always use a physical box for the good performance. Okay. Now you might be thinking how it should look like. So let me open this page for you. Let- Okay. Now,
So, is there any difference between physical and the virtual machine? Like, when I configure the any particular policy object, so is there is the same or different? Will be different?
okay, good question. So physical and virtual, all both are same PAN OS. There will be zero difference between configuration because PAN OS is same. There is no difference. Difference will be in your allocation of memory, RAM, space, speed. Okay, configuration
Okay.
wise, zero difference, 100% identical.
Okay.
Okay, now
Thanks.
you might be seeing some different boxes. Let's go through this box of 5420, one of the firewall, how and when you go inside your data center and your have a requirement to install a firewall, you should know few basic things as a physical perspective. Okay, so there are two part, back panel and front panel. Okay, front panel and back panel. Let's understand front panel first. It will be a physical box. What you need to understand in this box, you will see. Okay, so some firewall or most of the firewall of Palo Alto is having two things. One is console, okay, console and management. These are the two different ports that will be available. Console will be everywhere. In each model, console will be there, and management depends whether they have dedicated management or not. Okay. So when I say management and console, whenever a new box is there, you know that is the first place you have to connect your console cable so that you can configure. Okay. So one second. Control F console. 8 number. Yeah, that's fine. 8 number. So 8 number, yeah, this is the console. So whenever you get a few new box, you have to have connect your console cable RJ45 or a console serial cable. Inside that another part will be connected to your laptop so that you can start the configuration. What configuration will be there, I'll tell you. Okay, that is the 8 number is your console port. Okay, apart from that, they have a dedicated HA ports as well. Okay, depends on the model wise. It's not always, but depends on the model wise. What is dedicated HA port? You can see here 1A and 1B. 1A and 1B. What is 1A and 1B? I'll just give a brief and later on classes we'll go into detail. 1A. 1B. A means active, okay? B means backup. What is 1? So they call it HA1, okay? HA1. When I say 1, 1 means control plane, okay? 2 means data plane. So they have given 1A means control plane active and control plane backup. And they have HA2 as well. A and HA2B as well. In short, if I tell, these are the two ports you need to remember when we say connect a HA cable. How this is different from other vendors. So if box is there, okay, two boxes, for example, for HA. For example, this is PA1, PA2. PA1 and PA2. So for example, if 5200 series is there, for example, 50 to 40 I'm using here. So they have two ports. One port they have mentioned 1A, 1B. Okay. And the same box is there. You have to have 1A, 1B, 1B. When I'm saying connect a create a HA or connect a failover cable or a HA cable, you have to connect back to back this HA1 to HA1 or HA1B to 1B. What is HA1 and 1B? So what they say for the control plane traffic, other word, management traffic, management traffic, they have given a dedicated port called HA1. Okay, so when I say HA1, you need to understand control and management traffic. What if this HA1 port goes down due to some reason? It goes down. There will be a failover. What Palo Alto Extra did, they have given one more port called HA1 backup. So if traffic is going from HA1 and it goes down, my traffic will automatically shift to the HA1B. This is the backup for what? HA1. Okay. Now they have one more port called data plane port. Data plane port. Okay. When I'm saying data plane port, they have given a name called HA2. Okay. What kind of traffic will go from the data and what kind of traffic will go from the management? Can you give anyone give example like management traffic? One example.
Yes, management, we can through the traffic like managing traffic log and the logs, something like that. And the data plane just flow the traffic, just data like any data traveling into responder to initiator.
Okay, fine. So for example, can I say that syslog traffic? Okay, management traffic, syslog traffic generating from your firewall going from here.
SNM. Okay,
Okay, and
SNMP also.
yeah. So for example, here source destination port, some traffic will be there, traversing from one source to another destination going from HA2. In case HA2 goes down, Palo Alto have a dedicated port called HA2 backup, and this will call as a HA2 active. So in short, Palo Alto will have 4 ports minimum for HA. But in your picture of front panel, you were seeing only 1A, 1, not 2 and 2. Okay. For HA2, you have to use any SFP port, okay, SFP port or RJ45 copper port as well, and connect back to back and make it HA2. No dedicated port for HA2. Okay. Only you can use any other spare port as a SFP port here, back to back connect. That will act as a HA2. If this is active, another one we have to take it as a backup. So this connection will be like that. So this is the way you have to use your ports based on your physical box. Okay. Now, when you go inside the data center, this is the thing you need to understand when they say connect failover cable. Okay, that is the first thing. What you understand, console, we understand there is something called the management as well. Okay, so okay. Management port 7 number. So let's take 7 number. 7 number. This is console. This is management. What is the difference between management port and console port? Anyone?
Yes, the console port we can connect, during the new box when I configure, when I assign the IP address of the management gateway subnet mask. So once I, complete the initial configuration through the CLI manage CLI,
Mhm.
and then we will go for the management port for the GUI access, something like that.
Okay, so you're saying the new box, but if it's an old box, can't we
What I'm
use?
what I'm thinking, like console is just for configuration purposes. Like whenever it is required, if we need to change anything, like after the deployment also, we can use with the console. But management, I think we are just for like checking the logs, like what is there, what is the configuration is there. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that.
I
Both
think
can be used as a configuration. Okay, now some other thing.
console can we can use it
Local
for
Local.
SSH and local management. We can assign any IP address and we
network
can
through network.
network
Yeah, so
connect via network.
correct. So the best answer would be console doesn't need any IP addresses. Okay. Console that doesn't need any IP address. That will be a physical connectivity from the console port to maybe your OOB. When I'm saying OOB, out of bound access, it could be DigiLock or anything. Okay, out of bound boxes you can use. Doesn't require any IP address. So that means in case of a complete outage of network, there is no IP address. ISP is down, even though you can reach the box throughout the console because there is no IP address. Okay. Now, management must have IP address. Okay. Management must have IP address. So, whenever you log into the firewall, we always use your management IP address. In case of any ISP down and any outage, you use this console port. That is the simple. That is simplest thing. We can use both for the configuration. There's no restriction. Now, let's talk about connectivity for a revenue port. When I'm saying revenue port means your data ports. Okay, different companies have a different nomenclature. Some call revenue port, some called data port. Okay, so all this you are seeing here, these are the data ports. So, hmm, 1 to 8 RJ45 10 Mbps 100 Mbps 1 Gbps 5 Gbps different ports are there. Okay, one port is 1 to 8, 1 to 8. If you SFP 9 to 20, that is the port we have to use. 9 to 20 here. 9 to 20, this is SFP port. Okay, you have to use a fiber over here so that you can use as a data port. From this data port only, you have to use a HA cable as well. Any data port you can use, whether to start or end depends on your company. Okay. QSFP ports is also there. This is also a SFP port, but higher advanced model of SFP called QSFP. Okay, that will have a bandwidth of 40 Gbps, 100 Gbps. Now depends on your uh, company requirement. Okay, how much bandwidth you are using, you have to use your cables or you have to use your ports. HSCI port is also there, 5 number. Where's 5 number? This is HSCI port. So in Palo Alto, we mostly use active as well. Okay, we till now we must be seeing the active passive, but you are using a active as well. In active case, we use the HSCI port. How to use it will cover into the active process. Okay, console and everything is fine. Okay, system module LED. Okay, that is the front panel. If I talk about the back panel, it's simple here. Back panel also have one console USB, different 5400, 5420. A different model number is there. 5400 series, it's in generic model. It's the actual model. Actual model will be like that, the below one.
Excuse me, sir. I see the USB port. So what will be
Okay,
used?
USB port. So
Yeah.
for example, you are working in such company, for example, um, a data center engineer or as a consultant, and you have to boot that firewall. And there is no network, a new firewall is there. There are so many companies does that. Okay, what generally they do, if you don't have internet connectivity in this box, you won't be able to, you won't be able to, what we call download pan OS. Okay, if don't have internet connectivity, what generally we do, we first go here, console it, and provide the management IP. And through the management IP, we provide the internet access and download the pan OS. This is generally it's being happen when an internal company will do. But imagine I'm a service provider, okay, and they are saying build this firewall pre-production. Pre-production means there is no internet connectivity, data center is being built new, no management network internet. What you have to do, you have to take your USB, USB, okay, what we call USB we called it, right? Pen drive, sorry, pen drive, USB, and upload your pan OS here, pan OS here, and connect that pan USB drive or a pen drive here in USB port and reboot the firewall. Okay, throughout the console, you will see the when it will reboot it, you have to just check the selection, reboot from the USB kind of thing. When it will reboot, a base image will be there. At least you can reboot the firewall using a USB so that a pan OS should be there in that box, whatever required version you need it. So by default, it will come with some base versions like 9.0.0, 10.0.0. Okay, but you want to boot up, okay, in 11.5.2, and you don't have internet connectivity. Take your PAN OS in pen drive, connect it here and reboot it. Your firewall will be upgraded. In that case, only we use the USB cable. Is that answered your question?
Yes, got it. Thanks.
Okay, this is very generic case when we send a data center engineer at the remote location. Okay, they take a USB, or sometimes your something is corrupted, PAN OS is corrupted. New USB cable, the a pen drive, they take it and put it from there. Okay, and very useful.
And anything another use for we can use another task to the
This
USB.
is this is what I can understand. Let me ask if anything else is there. What is the use of USB in Palo? Most of the time we use the same thing. What they
Okay.
are saying, management, bootstrapping, initial bootstrapping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bootstrapping. No, they this is the only use. Initial
Okay.
connectivity bootstrapping.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now come to the VM series firewall. How this VM series firewall will help? It will save your space as well. Okay. Because when you have a physical box, you have a limitation of rack and space. You can use the multiple firewalls in the one server. okay, and act as a virtual firewalls. And it is widely used PM series firewalls. Configuration wise, there is no change. Everything is same. Something. Okay. VM series, when to use? When you want to use a virtualized environment like public or private cloud infrastructure, okay, when you want a flexibility, then you can use it. And CN series firewall. There is one more firewall called CN series firewall. Okay, that is completely different from VN and next series. So in public cloud these days, we mostly use the Kubernetes. Okay, for a parallel traffic, we can call east to west traffic management or a restriction. We use this CN firewall. CN firewall, like you use the Kubernetes based container deployment, you use the CN firewall. When you have a container micro segmentation or microservices, it will help you for the east to west traffic. So for example, when I'm saying east to west, so north south, all this north south traffic, when a traffic is coming from your access switch and go out the internet, we use that PA series or VM series file. But what if we have a traffic like that, multiple load, for example, load balancer is there and services are there, microservices. If you want to do restriction like port based restriction or anything, then we use this CN series firewall. That is not in our course. Okay, CN series firewall is a bit different. It's not having that capability, which we, it's like a port based restriction. Okay, it is not in, I'm just explaining, but not in our case. Another one is CDSS, cloud delivery security services. This is not firewall. Okay, cloud delivery security services means what? For example, in older cases, we use IPS, IDS. Okay, we use proxy, and so it was a dedicated fire devices were there in older cases or traditional use. Dedicated devices were there previously, like blue code proxy and all. Okay. What Palo Alto does now, all these services is cloud based. Okay, all the security services is cloud based. You have to just connect your Palo Alto firewall towards the Palo Alto cloud, not public cloud, Palo Alto cloud, and take the subscription. It will secure your traffic. It will help you to implement threat prevention, TP we call it. There's no word called IPS, IDS in Palo Alto. You have to tell threat prevention. Okay, it will help you for the threat prevention, proxy also. Apart from that, DNS security as well, cloud services, wildfire, wildfire, everything over a cloud. So all these services over a cloud, you have to just connect your firewall. Okay, it will use a API call to use inside that firewall, and it will help you. For example, what you can use, uh, DNS security. Take example of DNS security, DNS sync. My firewall, there are two options. Okay, traffic is going. You have created antivirus profile, for example, anti spyware profile, which is saying, okay, whatever gambling site, gambling site, okay, is there, or some malicious site. That is good example. Malicious site is there. If a traffic is going towards the malicious site, block it. You have to configure locally. But assume this this is the limitation, right? Malicious site domains you have configured, and every day by day there is a new malicious sites are coming over the internet. So what you have to do in this case, you have to connect your firewall to the DNS security cloud or a threat prevention cloud. They will have a huge database for example, Unit 42 or PAN-DB. They will collect a detail of viruses, antiviruses, everything malicious over in their database. If anything come across their database and new, it will push it to your firewall also. So in case of new malicious activity or new malicious attack as well, your firewall will be able to handle those kind of traffic. This is the use of CDSs. Okay, this is not firewall. This is the services. Okay, we'll go into the detail. This is just an overview. Panorama, you know what is Panorama? So if you have a multiple firewalls in your organization, and if you want to have a centralized management, you can use Panorama. Okay, so Panorama will be connected to all the firewall and centrally manage for the config management. Okay, nothing else. Config management. You have to do the configuration in Panorama and push it in all the locations. Panorama could be a physical as well. Okay, for example, M600, M500, it will be there. M600, 500 is a dedicated panorama, like a dedicated firewall, or you can use panorama pan inside the VM as well. Okay, this is also possible. You have to have a physical or VM panorama to manage all this firewall, and this will go with the license. How many firewalls you can manage it, the licensing. Okay, we'll do the deep uh, understanding on Panorama as well, how to connect the devices. So what we covered, Prisma Access, I'll tell you what is that. Just an overview, not a inside the detail. I'm just giving you so that you will understand what our flavors are there. What is Prisma Access? For example, let's understand why Prisma Access. Okay. You have one you have one firewall in, for example, in APAC region, one firewall in US, one firewall in UK. And UK have a multiple firewall, US have a multiple firewall, and this APAC have a multiple firewalls. Okay. You as a remote employee, you are a remote employee. Okay. Work from home employee, work from home. And there is data center as well, and there is a branch office as well. Plain page. I'm explaining why to use how this Prisma Access concept came. Okay. In any company, they will have some remote employee, remote. They will have some office employee. We call it branch. Branch will be multiple places, and we call it data center as well. Data center as well. And your company will have a different locations. For example, APAC, UK, US. Now, if you are having only one data center, let's say example, okay, and there is a pack. There is one service called DNS service or DHCP service, whatever. Some server is there in APAC. In APAC, there is one server. As a remote employee, if your global protect is configured somewhere in US, GP, global protect, you have to go global protect. And if you are an India resource, if you are an India resource, you have to go and connect your Google Protect there. And from US, okay, US, for example, US, you have to come again to the India and access this server. There is a big latency and we call it a backhauling. Okay, there is a word called backhauling. Backhauling means you are going somewhere and coming back, it is creating a latency and it is giving a poor performance. Then again for the different branch offices, the same thing. Okay. To avoid all these things, what Palo Alto came as a cloud. In cloud, they have a different POP or call it connectors or a POP, I can say POP. Okay. We call it Prisma Access Service Point, Service Access CAN. There's a new word called CAN. Okay. What you have to do if you are in India, okay, via internet, your by default your connectivity will be closest to your CAN or a POP, which is here in Mumbai. Okay. For example, if you are in Bangalore, so they will have one more presence in Bangalore, not everywhere. Okay. Bangalore. So they call it north south kind of thing. Similarly, if you are a US resources, okay, you will connect nearest POP to the US. If you are in UK, you will connect to the UK resources. And there will be an internal routing. However, if your data center is in US, you don't have to connect your directly to the US. It will be connected directly to your nearest POP. It will reduce your latency and give a good performance in terms of browsing and accessibility. One more thing, it is a centralized management. Previously, when you have a different kind of locations, this engineer, US engineer is configuring their firewall in different way. US engineer is configuring in a different way. Whether you have a panorama, different device group is there. The configuration difference are there. US engineer when come to India, he is saying, hey man, I'm not able to access anything. There's some problem in this website. This is very common scenario in real world. Okay. To avoid this configuration inconsistency, we go for the Prisma Access, and there is lot there in Prisma Access. We will read about it. I'll explain how to use that Prisma Access as well. But that is also not a part of course, but I'll explain how this Prisma Access work. And why I explain this, this is also a offering from the Palo Alto. Apart from that, there are so many offerings like CDL, Cortex, Cortex Data Lake. Till now, what we were doing, we were having all the logs and sending to the centralized log management. For example, all this syslog we are sending towards, for example, QRadar or maybe Splunk and so many things. Okay, two I have used. So this is your could be your on-prem or could be over a cloud. Okay, there is a limitation. If it's on-prem, you have to do the retention period. Okay, and when the log is sufficient and more than required, you will have add more logs. You and depends on the size, this QRadar will charge you. Okay, whoever is working in logging, QRadar is Splunk, they don't charge on device basis. They charge how much space you are using in their infrastructure, Splunk or QRadar. It's an increasing cost, and you can't stop sending logs. Okay, it's you are having a 50,000 employees to whom you will say don't send the logs. Okay, it will send by default. What Palo Alto come up with? They have connected your Palo Alto logs with the CDL, Cortex Data Lake. It's also a cloud. Okay, from the cloud they do all the analysis, whatever they required. You can directly log into their GUI and do the um, troubleshoot logging, what kind of logs are there. Similar log you can directly check into the firewall as well. Okay, no issue, but there is a limitations. Maybe I think 5 to 4 days logs you will see. But you can see here till 1 year or 2 year logs also. It's CDL. So this is also one of the offering from the Palo Alto. So the target was here for me to explain how this Palo Alto products varieties are there. Okay. Please ask any question or more product you want to understand. I'll explain. There are so many. Okay, if you want to see how many, let me. But we are more focusing on this one, next generation firewall, because this is your building block base. Once you know that, then only you can go anywhere. For example, ADM is there, AI Ops is there, CIE is there, Cortex is there, Prisma Access, DLP, data security, browser, Prisma Cloud, SD-WAN, SaaS, plus Data Cloud Manager, logging, so many things are there. See,
So
okay.
what about the startup?
Strata, if you are using a Panorama on-premise, whether it's a physical firewall or a cloud firewall, you
Mm-hmm.
have to use a Strata Cloud Manager. We call it SCM also to manage all this firewall. It's a cloud Cloud mode of Panorama.
Okay.
Cloud mode of Panorama. Strata
So
Cloud Manager.
can we say it as a hybrid, like where it can manage both type, like on-prem and the cloud?
Exactly. That is the benefit. That's why Strata came. Cloud's
And
resources. Yeah, continue.
Panorama is just for the on-prem, like physical hardware.
No, we manage also, but what is the challenge? Okay, let me explain the challenge. We manage, it is possible to manage. So, for example, if your panorama is here, for example, panorama is there. If it's a location, for example, US physical location, whether it is in VM or physical, doesn't matter. Your panorama, for example, is in UK. You can build a connectivity IPsec and manage it. Okay, no issue into that. Now, if your resources, if a okay, Palo is in GCP. Okay, you can, okay, to addition, you can install your Palo into GCP, AWS in any public cloud, Azure as well. Okay, so if you are having resources, sorry, Palo Alto firewall here, okay, and you want to access that, you have to build a connectivity from your on-prem to GCP, whether it could be a IPsec tunnel or a direct connect. Okay, direct connect, and whoever work into the cloud, they know direct connect and dedicated links are also there from the ISP to connect your on-prem infrastructure to cloud. But there are so many functions like Palo Alto is connected, for example, CDSS in short. So many functions like AI application for AI, URL filtering, and all antivirus security profile, everything Palo Alto is connected to the cloud. Everything means just box is there. All the subscription which we are using is over the cloud. So what Palo Alto came is a SCM, okay, Strata Cloud Manager. Okay, when everything is over a cloud, use SCM, which is also into the cloud. Just connect your physical boxes inside. That's it. So from managing from on-prem, it went into the managing from here and with the more capability, cloud capability, SCM. Okay, we can manage on-prem and all, but due to the ease of managing, we are managing SCM. We are using SCM at the same
Okay,
time.
it means like Panorama is a hardware device and SCM is a kind of a cloud
Completely,
based.
yeah, completely cloud-based, completely.
Okay.
There is
Like
no way.
Panorama, we need to buy it and then we license it, and the Strata, I guess we need to just get a subscription or whatever the things we need to do that for.
Okay, so what happened generally in real time, I'm telling in every company, if you are a company, for example, you are working in uh, okay, IMAX. There is one company called IMAX. IMAX will go to the Palo Alto and they will tell, okay, I want to use your service. What they will do, they will give you a CSP portal, customer support portal, and they will create a tenant. In that tenant, okay, for example, they give tenant one. In that tenant, will do uh, use two type of tenants. One, if you have a VM firewall or a physical firewall, you have to generate your serial number, and this serial number will be registered here. And once the registration done, whatever subscription you will buy, you will get into this firewall. Now you are, this is on-prem model. Now you are saying, no, I have to use SCM, I have to use the cloud. What they will do, they will create another tenant for same company, tenant two, and they will enable our subscription called SCM or AI ops or so many things. In tenant to all the cloud, and you can use it here. No, nothing connected to it, no connected to the physical. So in short, if anyone is working in AWS or a GCP, mostly the AWS, this is the same thing happen, right? There we create a uh, VPC, we create a tenant in GCP, we create a host project, right? So they create different kind of tenants to use the services, but it will be directly subscription based or license based. Nothing you have to buy physically, no VM, nothing, no space. If you don't have office also, okay, nowhere, anywhere. You have to just, you can buy it. You can work from home, you can run your company from cloud. This is what SCM does. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
And so many things. But start with basic, and there is lot actually. You will enjoy. Okay. Control plane and data plane. Whoever is from the routing is very good. Who is not, let me explain. And it is same for everyone. Control plane and data plane. This is not part of your course, but a technical understanding should be there. Then it will be. So there is one thing called control plane. Control plane. Okay. And data plane. So if I ask in general understanding, okay, what is control plane? Give one example. How anyone can explain?
Like we can configure the our pan through the control pan,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
and the data plane we can uh, flow the traffic through the data plane.
Okay, good.
Yeah, control plan is for decision making, like routing
Decision
and
making. Right. So there is one word called a decision making. Okay. So I can I say this control plane is a brain. Okay. Who take decisions? Take decisions. And this data plane will act upon taking the decision. For example, in technical term, you have a device, router, firewall, doesn't matter. There are two things. Uh, there is destination one, destination two, destination, destination. There is a device, different interfaces are there. Different interfaces there. Interface one, interface, interface two, INT three. And there is one source interface, INT four interface. This is your source. And there is one destination somewhere. Traffic is coming, your interface, source interface. And the packet flow, routing, switching, whatever needs to be done, it is happening. Here, to reach in this destination, they have configured, for example, okay, let's start with the basic. To reach that destination, you have route. Okay. To reach that destination, you have multiple route. Route one, route two, and route three. Traffic is coming from here. Which route needs to be taken to go out that destination? It has to be some uh, admin distance, okay, or metrics, and every calculation is there in every routing protocol, whether it's static or uh, BGP. What I want to explain, when you have all the routings at one place, okay, to reach a different destination, can we call it a RIB, okay, routing information base, okay, RIB. But to go out that destination, only one route is being selected. Depends on the routing protocol. We call it as a best route, correct? Best route, whether it is OSPF, VGP, or static. That best route will come under the FIB, forwarding information base. Okay? Forwarding information base. When you have all the route in RIB, who is taking the decision which route needs to be taken? So that decision is being taken care by the control plane. Once that route is decided, all the traffic will go from FIB. All the traffic will go from the data plane. In case this route flapped or this route is down, Then again a recalculation will happen where in control plane. Then again a new route will be propagated or a calculated. So every time who is doing the calculation, this control plane and RIM, okay, it is in RIM, control plane. So all these kind of calculation, decision making, brainstorming is being done into the control plane, okay, and all after once is decided, it will acting as a data plane. Some more examples of management. Under the control plane, there is one more subplane, I can say, control CP, that is called a management plane that comes inside management plane. Decision taking, who takes the decision? Management only. So that all this management plane traffic also comes under the management traffic. For example, DNS traffic, DHCP traffic, syslog traffic, syslog traffic, all this being passed from the management plane. Okay, to understand more in detail and clear understanding so that you will never forget. Let me show you one. It's everything written. So what you understand by this picture. There are some key agents in your firewall, like a decision making. They are taking all these decisions. Okay, that is the control plane, your plane, a brain, management, policy, intelligence, office strategy, everything. So management used to take the decisions, right? Once they take the decision, they pass that decision to the data plane, like your operations team, ops. So some part of your firewall will do the policy of enforcement, some part will do the app ID, some parts will threat prevention, some part will do the logs, high speed allow block, logs and everything. So understand all the decision is being taken care in control and management plane, and all this action is being taken care by the data plane. Okay. Why I explain this? To understand a SP3 architecture. Okay. 12:13, right? I generally take a 5-minute break. Okay. So in that case, a 5-minute timer start. Let's meet in 5 minutes. Okay. It's a 5-minute break. So relax your memory. See you in after 5. Hello everyone, I'm back. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we're gonna understand here, SP3. What is SP3? So every firewall will have a way of their architecture, how to take the packet. Okay, how to use that packet to go in and out. So for example, every firewall having a different or same somehow architecture. We'll understand SP3 first. Let's understand before going in technical. Okay, let's understand uh pass parallel processing. Let what does it stand for? Single pass parallel processing. Okay, that's why SP3. What is SP3? This is the architecture. Architecture of what? Architecture of Palo Alto. How the packet will flow. Whether it is a dedicated, it is a dedicated Palo Alto firewall architecture. Why it is important to understand the architecture first. Let's understand the problem first. Okay, what is the problem? All these vendor firewalls which we were using, whether it is a Cisco, Fortinet, Juniper, and some traditional old firewalls, it is giving one problem: slowness. By firewall were performing very slow, and the traffic was also, when traffic is going from the firewall, it is making it slow when it comes from the firewall. Palo Alto have a dedicated RAM, a dedicated hardware, and the software for doing all this stuff. Let's understand in normal term first what is the issue. Non-technical term, okay? Problem. So let's say you consider as a packet, yourself consider as a packet, you, and you have to go out or withdraw money, okay? And so you went into the bank called SBI. They will kill me. SBI. Okay. Okay. So this is the first stage of SBI you came. So understand a packet came in inside the interface. Okay. Now when you go inside the SBI, this SBI will have a different counters. Okay. So there is one counter called may I help you. May I help you. Okay. So she told, counter number one told, oh, go to counter number six, okay, and take a form, okay, and fill it. Then you went into 1 to 6 and fill it. Then this person, once you fill that, then again you go into other counter to submit it. Counter number 7, for example, submit it. They do all the analysis, whatever needs to be done. Then you go into the cashier, maybe counter number 10, and take out your cash. Okay. This is the ideal scenario of a traditional firewall. And sometime you have to again, once you fill it, then again you have to go here and ask, okay, where to submit. Then again you will come here. This kind of flow will delay your packet going out. Delay. It will give you a delay and the slowness of your packet to go out. This is the traditional approach we were following in some of the firewall. Okay. Now Palo Alto come with brilliant idea. What he said, he come up with a bank called, instead of SBI, it came as a, which is good bank, HDFC, ICICI, HDFC. So same packet is came here. Packet came inside the interface. Okay, this person at SBI, or sorry, HDFC said, okay, you sit here. Okay, you sit here. I'll go everywhere. This agent, I'll go counter number one, two, and three, whatever needs to be done, and I then again come back and give you the cash. You can go out. Means all this internal stuff, this executive or agent is doing. Okay, it will give you a better performance. There is no slowness in this case because you just came all this internal thing, no go through method, and directly you can go out. What if uh, number of packets increase? So one packet is fine, one it is handled by one agent. When packet will increase, there is another agent at HGFC. They will take care of your packet. Then there are dedicated different agents. We call it a dedicated customer response or whatever. And they do internal stuff wherever they want to go and go out. So this kind of approach, architecture approach, help my packet to go in and out very smoothly without any delay. So do you think this model is helping that employee or this customer, or SBI is helping that customer? Okay, no problem. Let's
Like
understand. Let un
HDFC model is helping the customer. Customer just needs to sit idle and all the work will be done by the agents which are there
Yeah,
for
right.
them.
Now understand that is in a technical term. Okay, we are going step by step. This is the way how the traditional technical term. This is the way a packet came. Okay, make it large. Okay, this is the way when packet came. It will do for protocol check, port number check, which is good. It has to be done. Okay, port check, protocol check. Then they will check the application. Then they will check application and everything. Then they will do the threat scan. Then will do the URL filtering and whatnot. Everything. One similarities in the SBI mode, and here you will see we call it sequential approach. Once this will done, then only a packet will come here. Understand? Then a packet will come here. This is called a sequential approach. For example, checkpoint on Cisco ASA. Okay. Now this Palo Alto SP3 architecture, what they did, if a packet is coming, this is the brain or this is the centralized management system. It will check, oh, it has to be done the app ID. It will send some for the app ID. Okay, it has to do the URL filtering. So everything at the same time, single pass. Matlab means if you came here, singly pass all these applications or efforts parallelly. When I'm saying parallelly, this is one part. Parallelly also similarly for other packet will be done. At once it will go out, whether it has to be in or out. So you can see main difference. It came once singly, okay, and doing all the stuff at same time, all L7. When I'm saying L7, it will everything will come under L7. User ID, thread ID, app ID, URL filtering, everything. 1 second, please. Yeah, sorry. So at a one time, it will do everything and go out. Now go back. Okay, let's understand one more way. Okay. For example, if a traffic platform is there, any platform, okay, In, once it will check the IPS IDS and go out. Similarly, in checkpoint, they have a different kind of blades. I'm not only talking about the checkpoint, there are so many. Okay. So they are having a different blades, whoever worked in checkpoint. They have IPS blade, IDS blade, firewall module, different blades are there. Okay. So it has to go for everything in the Fortinet also. Okay. But in Palo Alto, they have a single pass software. Means a packet needs to become once and parallel processing hardware. Software is one. In this case, okay, softwares were different. For example, IPS having different module, IDS having different module, firewall having different module. Okay, if you remember. But in Palo Alto, there is no such thing, and they have parallel dedicated hardware process at once. When it comes, multiple hardwares will help you to go out. So this is one of the very good diagram. I'll show into the online as well. So internet, it came here. Okay, other vendor file. Let's understand other vendor firewall. Okay, if you are coming here, going out, so your firewall will come like that. L3, L2, it will find port, it will find. Then go for the L3 port identification, HTTP header, URL filtering, then come here like that. Come up IPS, then come out IDS. Okay. But in this Palo Alto, all L7 will be one. Palo Alto SP3. This photo, this one. And I made it big. Okay. So you can see this app ID, user ID, content ID, networking, everything. It comes under the policy engine. It comes only once, single pass software. Single pass software means all this L7 will do it once, not more than that, at once only. And beside that, you can see dedicated hardwares as well for control plane and data plane. You know what is control plane does? And the dedicated hardware for the data plane, and data plane also having a dedicated hard modules for that, like networking module, security module, content module, parallel processing. Means single pass software is also doing work, and parallelly all the work is being done. So that's why it is called a single pass software and parallel processing. Let me show you as a firewall architecture or a packet flow. Packet flow. Okay. So let's understand this one. They have called it snort and Lena in Palo Alto. This one. Am I able to show? IPS module is not Lena. It's not Lena. I think this one. Fast snort instance. Let's see this one. They have a two different module called ASA OS called Lena, and L7 call it Snot. Okay. So if packet is coming from here, from example, ingress, existing connection, NAT, and policy L3, L4, whatever is there, DAQ, fast path. From here, it will again send if anything comes under L7. For example, there is rule policy and security policies associated with the URL filtering. So for URL filtering, it will send the traffic here. Okay, then decode it. Then whatever SSL decryption, SI identity policy, IS, everything will be done L7. Then again, it will come here again in Lena. Okay, you see here, it is going from OS Lena to Snort, all do all the Snort part, and then come again to the Lena and then go out. This is the traditional approach of a packet flow and the architecture of other firewall. But here in Palo Alto SP3, they do at once and the parallelly. They don't wait for other packets to finish their job. Whatever will finish fast, then just do it and go out from the job queue. That's why the Palo Alto approach and the architecture is bit different compared to the other firewalls, and it is giving a very good performance. actually very good performance in terms of the speed, reliability. Okay, this is called a SP3. So what you have to understand in short, SP3 means single pass software. It will process all this L7 activity at once and parallelly with a different hardwares. This is a single pass parallel processing hardware and software. Okay, uh, and so many theory I have already written. Okay, you can go through it, no issue into that. Any question in SP3 or till here?
No, sir. Super, so good.
Okay. Now, enough for theory and operations. We'll talk about now practical lab. So okay, how much time I have? Let me take 12:35. Do you guys having any another batch or class, or you are free?
We are free.
We are free to extend, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to talk now about your lab, how the lab will be there. Since we know about little bit about the firewall, my first lab will be just a basic lab. Basic lab means you should be able to understand how this EVNG work, what is the basic configuration to reach a blank firewall, minimum basic requirement, okay, minimum basic configuration to open that firewall into the GUI and how to reach a internet from the LAN. This is the basic we'll do, and then slowly we'll go advances. Let's have a look on your lab part. Okay, so everyone will get some login. This called a EVNG login. Okay, and everyone will have a different rack number, and it could be a same, but let me check my rack number. 8099. Okay, 8099. 8099. Everyone should have their login credential. Okay, try trainers. Password will be also different for everyone. Okay, and okay, I was preparing one lab yesterday. Let's stop it. It is okay. So once you have a login credential and password, this will look like that. File manager, and you may not have this much folders, maybe, but where you have to go, you have to remember. Okay, so once you log in into that, there will be multiple folder, different vendors, sorry, different trainers having a different lab. Okay, where you have to go, checkpoint is also there. You have to come into this folder, run Palo Alto, do not delete. Okay, I'm just typing so that how Palo Alto different Cisco and ASA FortiGate. Uh, Ubhav Kumar, Ubhav Kumar. Did that answer question? Just now I explained the flow. Is that answer your question? How Palo Alto different from the Cisco and FortiGate?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
I got it.
I just saw your question. In organization, we refer the HA port, the heartbeat cable. Heartbeat cable is HA1. Okay, heartbeat. Santosh Shankara. So heartbeat cable means HA1 cable. Is that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where you have to go, you have to come in your RON Palo Alto, do don't delete. Okay, that is the first place. Then go inside that. There are multiple batches I have already taken. It's old batches, 24, 25. You are in this batch. Okay. Ron, LAN, Y LAN, Y LAN. Okay. It should be not LAN. It should be Jan. Okay. Ron 2026. Ron 2026. Jan batch. Go inside that. Right now it's blank. Okay. I'll keep creating the labs and and add it to you. For example, whenever I create a lab, it will sync to your lab as well, your instance. You will also see that. Okay. If it doesn't show you, you have to tell this guy, a support guide. You guys have support day one. Config. Okay. Path has been given there in your Zoom chat. Okay. For example, if I'm creating any new lab here, so this is the first time I'm showing you because this is the initial class. Okay. In later classes, I'll just start the lab. But here you need to understand how I start the lab. Okay. I'm just creating a new lab. For example, day one lab initial config. Okay. You guys don't have to create a lab. It will be already there, a sync, whatever I am creating. Okay. It is just to show you how I generally do it. So I'm inside that lab. I have to add a simple topology so that you can get the access for the internet and all. Okay. So let's say node, they have a different Palo Alto images. Okay. I'm inside the EVNG. So for example, I have Panorama and Palo Alto. I'll take one Palo Alto and let's try to take 10x. Okay. Because I don't know which version is that. I'll check later. 10x. 4 is fine. Generally take some more bandwidth. 8092. Whoever will do into the lab in home. 8092. Good RAM will help you. It will not slow. Okay. And that's it. Okay. A Palo Alto firewall is there. Let's take one desktop. Okay. So for example, I generally use servers as a desktop. Okay. So desktop. This desktop will act as a LAN desktop. Okay. Let's take as one management. This is my management PC. I will use to manage this firewall. Okay. This is LAN PC. I'll write it. Now take one network call. This is my internet. This is my internet. Okay. We can use the L2 switch, L3 switch, everything we can use, and we are going to use it. But I'm just now, I wanted to finish that in a basic understanding, a look and feel how this Palo Alto looks like. Okay. Just connect your firewalls. So when you are using a management PC, you must have to select a management interface, which is different from the these interface. Okay. Then only a management interface will work. Okay. This is management. This is my LAN PC. Now you can use any interface for the LAN. This is for my internet. If from the LAN I am accessing internet, I should be able to reach internet. Okay, by using this firewall. Let me just add some text. LAN PC MGMT PC internet Okay, let's give the subnets as well. So you can give any subnet, but there is the one restriction I'll tell you, which will be applicable in this lab. So for example, if I am giving this subnet 172.16.1.0, 1.0/24, this is the subnet for my management, and this is the subnet for 173.60.1.0/24. This is for my LAN side. Okay. Internet gateway 10.0.0.0.0 gateway. Now, what is happening here? I'll explain. Just wait a minute. If I'm using this subnet, let's use dot 10 for my dot 10 for my PC. This interface here, I'm using dot 10 and dot 1 for this Palo Alto. Okay, dot 1, leave it. Same here, dot 10 for my PC and dot 1 for my Palo Alto. Okay, let me increase the font size also 20. Now take understanding on these options. First option which I using, right click this node network and everything. The same option you are see here, node network startup config. What you have to do once you're done with the mapping, like everything I have mapped, right? Once you're done with the mapping, you have to come here, more action, and at once you can start all the nodes or one by one also. One by one also means just right click that and start. This will also help. And from here, start all the node. Both will help, no issue. Okay, you can use anything. Apart from if you want to stop it, you can stop it. Just click stop all node, it will stop. So once you're done with the lab, I'm requesting everyone to stop the lab. The reason behind that, once you stop the lab, it will save some memory so that slowness will not come. Whenever you are doing the lab, start the lab, do the lab, and stop it. Configuration will be there. Okay, it will not vanish. It will be there, but it will save some RAMs. It will, because when you don't stop the lab, it will keep running day by day, day by day. Okay, and it will keep increasing RAMs, and the slowness will come. How to check the slowness and all? So if you come here, status. So right now I am in good position. Like CPU usage is 21%, memory usage, swap disk usage. But it goes to the 100% as well. Okay. So once you go to the 100%, just stop the lab. To the message in group. Whoever is not using the lab, stop it. Okay. It will. It's the same VM. Now labs is fine. Lock light mode, and this is nothing important. Dark mode. Okay. Once you done the lab, first stop and then close and then log out. Okay. It will help. Now let's understand this one. Why 10001? Before that, let me just, once you click that, it will open a console window. I just clicked it. It opened a console window, and it is now right now starting pan software. It is booting. Okay. It's a boot messages. Everything is booting now. Okay. Once you click that, it will boot. Okay, it's open already boot. It's already booted. Firewall will take at least 5 minutes. Remember, at least 5 minutes to boot it. Okay, so you have to wait till that time until boot will come, like self pass. Meanwhile, let me explain why 10001. So I'm using this lab in NWT. So for example, and so what is happening here? NW Kings is one company. They are having headquarter. I'm not sure where headquarter is in. Maybe Chandigarh. I don't know. CH. Okay, somewhere. Gurgaon, Chandigarh. So they are having one office in Chandigarh and they are having one rack there, server room or data center. In this rack, they are using vSphere, I think VMware EXI. What we called it? Second. VMware EXEI host. What we call E ESX ESX ESXI host. Inside that EXI host, they are using a VMware, sorry, virtual machine. One virtual machine they have given. Whatever VLAN doesn't matter. Inside that, they have installed a software called EVNG, EVNG or EVENG. Okay. Now, in this EVNG, they are using a image called PanOS, which is just now you are seeing being booting up. This is what booting up. You see here, VM login. Okay. Now, let's talk about the internet. This headquarter will have some ISP. ISP means some router, Airtel, whatever it. For example, Airtel is there. Airtel will have some gateway or subnet. For example, 192.168 or something. So, for example, mine is if config, I'm having something called, where is that? Leave it. What is my IP? So I am having this public IP. 223, 233, 85, something, something, something. There will be one gateway dot one. But when you see here, it will be something 192, 168 or something. Oh, sorry. F160. Okay. So I am receiving a IP 192.168 1.100. Who is giving this IP? This is given by the my Airtel service provider. And there will be one gateway called 192.168.1.255. Broadcast is the broadcast exit, but dot one will be my gateway. This is in generic scenario for everyone. But there is a difference of what I'm using here. So what they did, they are having some internet or whatever gateway will have. Inside that VM settings, okay, if I am initiating an internet connectivity from here in this PAN-OS, in PAN-OS means firewall. Okay. In firewall, if I try to reach 8.8.8, how the traffic will come? Traffic will come from the firewall, this PAN-OS, this image, that EVNG, and that VM. What NW did in their setting, they if you go into the NIC, whatever NIC is being used to go out, for example, NIC 0 or NIC 1, they did a NAT. Okay, whatever traffic will come, it will NAT into 10.0.0.0/8. and the gateway is given 10.0.0.0.1, and DHCP, DNS, everything 8.8.8. All these settings, everything is being already done into the NAT. So instead of actual IP, okay, we have to route towards my gateway, which is called 1.1.1, and the subnet, all this subnet 10.0.0 will have the internet. That's the reason. That's the reason I am using 10 network in my lab. 10 network in my lab, 10.0. If a IP will come here from the internet DHCP, it will get access to the internet. This is only specific to this NW King lab. If you are building your lab, if you are working in your company, this is not the case. Okay, there is no NAT being done into the NIC. This is to understand this lab. So in short, what you have to understand, whenever you need an internet reachable subnet, you have to be in 10/8. This is what you need to remember. Let's go inside that. Once the firewall is boot, and if you go inside that, you will see a boot login. Okay. Wait at least 7 minutes. Okay. So that complete boot will up. Even if you see this login, VM login, you have to wait for 7 minutes, because it is just showing the VM logging, the internal authentications, the configuration is not yet put up. So wait until 7 minutes, then try to log in. Okay, don't be in hurry, because sometime I see people are complaining I'm not able to log in, wrong password. Wait for 7 minutes, everything will boot up, you will be able to log in. This is the same scenario when you will get into a new box from the Palo Alto in your company as well. Same window will come. Now we have to provide the default default username and password, which is built by the Palo Alto. In their Palo Alto, they have given admin as a username and admin as a password. Okay, this is the default username and password is already given by the Palo Alto, which you have to use. And be careful here. Okay, so just type admin, admin. Okay, two times admin, admin. Once you do the admin username and password, at the same time it will ask you to change also. Enter old password. Okay, what is old password? Admin. Old means the same password which I just used, admin. Now enter new password. Okay, I am using a password called netadmin and 123. It is written in your document, but let me write it once. Okay, net admin at 123. Then again confirm password, net admin at 123. Now done. What is netadmin and 123 and all? Let me show you in my document. Okay. Where is that? Is that? Mm, okay, from here. Sorry, that was from here. So you should see here, I mentioned 10 minutes, 7 minutes minimum. Wait for 10 minutes, at least full boot up, else you will get a wrong password. Default is admin, admin. See here, admin, admin. Updated new password, admin, username and password is capital N at 123. Net admin at 123. Okay. Why I keep a same password everywhere? If you go past in my labs also, you will be able to access, okay, with the same password. I never change password. Admin, net admin at one. You also try to have make a habit of one password in this lab at least, so that whenever you will log in, you will remember, okay, what was the password. Otherwise, if you keep changing the password, you will forget, oh, what was the password for this lab. By saying that, you can use your password as well. Okay, means whatever you feel like. You want to use some your remember password, your company name at 123, Jan 2026 at 123. Okay, you can keep your password, but you have to remember. This is the basic first page CLI of this Palo Alto firewall, and I am in console right now. Okay. Once you do the console, just check few commands. Where are we right now? So for example, show system info. Okay, it will tell me show system info. Okay, this is the host name is Palo Alto VM, PAVM. Address as of now unknown, unknown, unknown. Gateway unknown. As IP assignment DHCP. As of now, it is assigned by the DHCP. The MAC address 5033 something MAC address is also there. Okay, serial number is unknown. Okay, MAC, CPU ID, UUID, license, and everything. I'll tell you. You can get all the details. Okay, certificates and everything. What is the current VM series version? It is 2000. Pan OS version is software version called 10000. Okay, all these details you will get in this CLI. Okay, now come up with the first line of command. What you have to do now, if you just type show, sorry, there is no enable here in Palo Alto. Okay, you have to just do configure and just do show. Once you do show, you will see this kind of output. See, this is a Unix like output you must be seeing in other firewalls also. Okay, sometimes it is very hard to read this output, in which zone it is. Correct output only XML output, but it is very hard to understand. How you can understand in better way serial output? There is one command called set CLI config output format set. Okay, and then do configure and then show. Now you will see the command configuration like set command set output. See, set device config system type DHCP client DHCP update server crypto profile botnet configuration, shared group, rule-based zones. It is very easy to understand. Set mode. So what you learn now, let me give you. When you want to be in set mode, there is command called set CLI config output format set. It's in your, why it is going in direct chat? One second. Okay. It should be in your Zoom chat. Once you do that command, you will be able to see all the configuration in very good manner so that you will understand. Now let's talk about, okay, what is the first line of command I have to enable into config or a configuration so that you can get into the GUI. You have to change the mode. Mode means right now it is DHCP enabled. You have to start from the uh, static mode first. So set, okay, let me show you one more thing. What are the options? Okay, show interface management. You have to remember this command show interface management. Let me type it show interface management. So when you see the management, see link is fine, duplex up it is fine, but MAC address is fine, but IP address is unknown. Netmask is unknown, gateway is unknown, unknown. Everything is unknown. Means the management interface is blank as of now. Okay. There's one more command. Show interface all. Here right now you don't see any interface, but doesn't mean they don't have interface. Once the interface will come up when you do some configuration, then only it will show here. Till then you have to just rely on the management. Okay. The very first command, you have to be in configure mode, set. Okay, this is set command for setting any configuration. Now, if you have to do a global level configuration, you have to come into the device config, set device config. It will be a globally same for everywhere. Okay, set device config, and I want to do the system config. System means whatever IP addresses you are configuring for management, it will come as a system. So in short, set device config system type static. This is the first line of command. It is already written in your document. Okay, no need to write. Set device config system type static. What I am doing right now, it was in DHCP and I don't have a DHCP server as of now. I am making it static. Next line of command, set device config. Okay, system IP address. IP address. Go to your topology and check the IP address. This is the interface, okay, management interface. What is the IP dot one? Means 172.16.1.1, 172.16.1.1, 172.16.1.1. Then after that, net mask. What is the net mask? Slash 24, 255.255.255.0. Just enter. This is the minimum basic configuration you have to do to get the GUI. Apart from that, so many. But minimum basic. So what I did just now, I made it static type assignment and assign a IP to the management. Okay. So now configuration is done. Two-line configuration. You have to now commit. In Cisco, once you just write the command, it will go into the running, okay, production. But here you have to do the commit. So you have to type a command called commit. Once you do the commit, okay, it will take some 1 minute to do their job. So for example, commit job 2 is running. Use Control C to return to the command prompt. So it will show you it is getting committed. Once it is done, it will go for the 100%. Okay, commit done. 5598. Since this is a first class, I'm showing you how to do that. But from the next class, a lab will open. Just focus into that because you have to start from here every time. Every firewall will get, okay, commit successfully. Now, if you want to check how this commit went, so you have a command called show job ID. Job ID. What is the job ID? Okay, so first of all, just check all jobs. Show jobs all. So there are two jobs only. This is a new firewall. One is auto commit and that is commit. Okay. So this commit will have a job ID called ID2. So you can write a command show job ID2. Show job ID2. Okay. It is just saying that job ID2, this is the time, DQ, ID, commit, finish, acknowledgement, complete, details, everything will be there. So once you have a multiple job commits, it will help job ID. Firewall side done, nothing else. Now come to your management firewall. This is my management PC. There is a specific way to unlock it. Okay. If you are having a Mac, you have to type control function, control, command, and delete. Okay. There is a password called test123. That's it. Test123. Let me show you where I have written. Okay. Remember, provide IP for the laptop. Password is test123 and it is same for everyone. There's no different password for the laptops. Capital TEST 123. There is no add. Test123. Okay. Now, if you are using a Mac, you have to type use a keyboard called function control command and delete like I am using. But if you're having a Windows, it will not help to unlock it. Okay. You have to do first Control Alt Delete or Control Alt Shift. It will open a keyboard, small keyboard, virtual keyboard. Then press Control Alt Delete. So everyone try it. Once you know how to unlock it, okay, next time you will be easily unlocking. If you don't try it, it will create a issue to unlock the this VM, because this VM is inside that EVNG. So directly Control Delete command will not. Once now, once you come here, you have to set the first IP address. Let's set the IP address, network internet setting. If you know how to do it from the CLI also, you can do it, no issue. But I'm showing the simple way. Network setting center. Go to the internet, properties, IPv4, use following static IP. So I think for the system dot one dot 10 I am using dot 10. Okay, 172.16.10, 172.16.10. What I have used here dot one. Okay, 172.16.1.10. Okay, subnet mask 255 means slash 24. Now, if you are using a switch L3 IP, you can give a gateway, no issue. Or you can give a gateway to a firewall interface IP also, like firewall interface IP 172.16.1.1. That will also work. If you don't give also, that will work because it's a direct connectivity. But most of your company, we have to give a L3 IP, which we will use in separate lab. Prefer DNS. As of now, just use public DNS. Okay, 8.8.8. Okay. Go to the browser, type your HTTPS, HTTPS, and your management IP which you configure 172.16.1.1, I think. So it will give you non-secure message. I'm not using any certificate as of now. Click in advance, go to unsafe. Okay, let me make screen bit good. So if your screen is little bit uh, small, you have to come here resolution, go 120/80/72, keep changes. Now it will be in big screen. Okay, this is the very first page, a login page you are going to see once you log in into your Palo Alto file. Okay, type your password which you set into the CLI. What was that password? Admin and net admin at 123. It is written in your document. Okay, wait for some one time, it will just spin up. Creating administration session. It takes time initially to show this GUI page. Okay, so this is the main page of Palo Alto, and regardless any model, anything, any series, it will be same. Even the color, font, everything will same. Nothing will change. Okay, everything will change. This is the main page for the Palo Alto. We'll go through each and every detail of that by some theory classes or by using some function. Okay. But we will try to cover each and everything, whatever inside that, by learning one by one. So when you see here, device name PAVM, management IP, and the serial number is unknown, that's fine. The global protect agent, the software version, same stuff we saw here, right? So system info. When you do a show system info, you will see host name 172.16, The gateway and everything is there. Similar thing you can see here in your general information. Exact same thing. Little more in CLI, but here are limited. Okay. Just to give you overview. Okay. All these tabs are having a different functions. Okay. The device function will have a different options. All these options are there. You have to use all these options for configuring different options. Like if you want to configure a high availability, you have to go into the device, then high availability and the configuration, password profiles, authentication, device content. So many things are there. Users, Kerberos, license, supports, everything is there. Global Protect client. Similarly, any network configuration. Network means interface, zones, VLAN, vWire, IPsec tunnel, global protect, everything you have to come into the network section. Similarly, if you want to create any object group, application group, spyware profiles and everything, you have to come in object. Similarly, security policy. If anything you want to configure the security policy, you have to come here, and the NAT is under the security policy. Monitor is for the logging. If you want to see the logging, traffic log, URL filtering log, global protect log, all kind of logs you want to see, you have to come here, monitor. ACC is the dashboard for the threat prevention. Like if you want to use this for the network activity for last 1 hour, where are all, how many bytes we have used, how many sessions is been being built from the firewall, you will see as a graph over here. Okay. And dashboard will give you overall idea, general information, who all are the login admins, system logs. Like I just use some system log, I did commit succeed, authenticated, I just did authentication, user admin logged in via web, I just logged in via web. All the system logins were there. Okay. And it is a kind of widgets you can enable and disable as well, whatever you want to have. For example, interfaces. Click here, it will show you interfaces as well. So right now there is no interfaces being up. So just be patient, we'll cover everything. Okay. But whatever is needed now for this lab, we are going to cover that one by one. So you guys want to continue or start from next week?
And next week will be better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. We'll go through with the notes and we'll come up with like more doubts and all with these like with the weekends by the
Right.
weekend. So yeah, that will be more beneficial.
Yeah, for first day, I think it is sufficient. Okay, don't pressurize much more. It will be within over hectic. So just try to go through the documentation. I'll provide you the documentation over the WhatsApp link. Talk with Gaurav. Okay, I also talk with Gaurav and I'll ask them to create a WhatsApp group for you guys. In WhatsApp group, I'm going to provide all the links wherever I generally upload in my Google Drive. I'll provide you the Google Drive for whole complete documentation at once.
Okay, and what about the lab access?
Lab access also, you must be getting some email for the support engineer. If not, talk with
Okay.
Gaurav or whatever number you got it and ask, give
Mhm.
me the lab access, credentials, passwords, and everything. There
Okay.
should be
Now,
one
as
contact.
you, yeah, yeah. So, Ron, as you said, that whatever lab you created, that will show on us also.
Yes.
So, same kind of lab, if we want to practice from scratch, what we need to do for that?
Okay. So, for example, I created one lab just now. This lab I created. This is my lab
Hmm.
and you everyone will see this lab, you won't be able to alter anything. You can do the configuration like CLI commands and all whatever I did, it will be blank. You have to do it. Now if you want to create your infrastructure means your topology, some more firewalls, some more switches, routers and everything, then you have to have a two option. One option, create your personal lab in your laptop. What you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
you have to download uh, VMware software, you have to download or purchase EVNG, you have to get a image of Palo Alto, image of this router switch, and what I have, laptops and all, whatever images are there. Build a complete lab, then only you will able to get the access. But here the EVNG license will create a issue. You have to pay something for the EVNG so that you can upload that and it will work. Second option, ask this NW King's team, give me lab access, separate lab access, dedicated lab in which I can uh, develop my infrastructure. Okay, they will charge something. I don't know how much they will charge, but they will charge something because creating a lab is costly. Costly means where you have to pay. You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay for the licensing. You have to pay for the EVNG. Image needs to be done. All these images are whatever they are paying already. They charge for that. So now you have two
Mm-hmm.
options. Decide. You can decide whether you want to pay everything for you or you can just buy the lab from NW Kings.
So
So in this
Ron,
setup, what only we can do, you say we are not allowed to change. So what we can do here for this setup?
All the configuration will be blank. Whatever configuration I am doing right now,
Okay.
there would be
Mm-hmm.
zero configuration. You will just see the icons of firewalls. That's it. You
Okay,
have to
okay.
go
So
inside, log in.
from in there we can do the config.
Yes. Creating passwords and everything, you have to do it. It will be completely blank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
means topology will be same,
Hmm.
but we can do the configuration in from the initial, right?
Yeah, do
Like
whatever configuration.
Palo
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You have,
server and PC as well as.
yeah, yeah. You can do any configuration you like in
Mhm,
firewall. No one will have.
mhm.
It's a separate instance you have.
Okay, so
so yeah, go ahead.
oh, thanks. Okay, so let's I do the one configuration of the initial. So suppose I have completed the initial configuration. I want to save the my config file, something like that in the future. Like when I create our own lab in the laptop. So I just wanted to export, import the configuration. It is possible.
100% possible. We are going to learn in next class how to
Mhm.
import, export the configuration so that you can reuse it.
We
It's very
can
easy.
use in
Any
different
other firewall.
topology.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, configuration will be same. You can
Mhm,
upload it that configuration and make the according change. Means if a topology is changing, when I'm saying topology is changing, in
mhm.
initial log, in initial configuration, if you are using only two interfaces, and in the future lab, if you are using four interfaces, so
Yeah.
that four interfaces you have to do extra. But you can upload the basic configurations like host name is
Mhm.
configured, DNS is configured. The initial
Yes.
configuration which you already did, you can use it.
Okay. Got it.
So Ron, will that be okay for you to like create a campus network in the starting place itself so that we don't need to change much of stuff like switches are there, routers are there, okay, everything's are there.
Yeah, I was creating campus network yesterday. Just give me till next class. Okay.
Yeah, because mostly what I'm thinking, like everybody, as you mentioned, like we need to purchase all those stuff and we need to configure it to like images needs to be built in EVNG, and it's not a good task. Like I have came across with that, and it's not like you can do it easily. So that's the reason. Like if we have routers, if we have switches, we can build some like our own configuration with that as well on the router switches and with the firewalls as also.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
understand. Yeah, so campus network, when you're saying I was building yesterday itself. So what it
Mhm.
will include, okay, because they are also limited to the license. So it will include L3 architecture. So some PCs, access switch, and then directly
Yeah.
core switch, then firewalls, HA firewalls, then internet, and one router. Okay, and then DHCP server and DNS server. These are the basic infrastructure will be there.
Yeah, that I guess is more than enough for like a learning basis where you can modify on each and every stuff as well. So that would
Yeah,
be good sign, I guess.
yeah. I started yet yesterday. So by next week,
Hmm.
next class, you will get. And
Sure, sure, sure.
let's see, a main campus infrastructure will be there, and in that campus infrastructure only we are going one by one. Okay, same lab.
Okay.
Okay, chalo, have a nice evening now, afternoon. Have a good. Okay, weekend is also there. Have fun.
Hello, Rom sir.
Yeah, Avinash, tell me.
So, actually, I'm asking the lab manual will be also available for us?
100%. I am giving everything, lab manual as
Okay, thank you.
well. Okay. Shall
Thank
see
you.
you next week, same time. Take care.
Okay.
Ron
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.